Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. I would like to thank each and every one of you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating to my channel. I really do appreciate all the love and all the support. And thank you for those of you who've been booking readings with me. It is truly appreciated, okay? So as you guys could tell by the title of this video is going to be about what comes to mind when people mention your name, okay? So pile number one, you're going to be the purple teddy. Pile number two, going to be the green teddy. And pile number three, the blue teddy. So again, pile number one, the purple teddy. Pile number two, the green teddy. And pile number three, the blue teddy. Okay? So pause this video if you must and meditate on the card or the teddy that you feel most drawn to. You'll be able to find your timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you guys at your pile. Hi pile one, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pile number one, you picked the purple teddy, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is I like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pile or previous readings, okay? So my pile number one, what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name, my pile number one? What do we have here for you, pile number one? What do we have here? We have second house resources. So you could be a Taurus or have Taurus in your chart. What comes to mind when people mention your name is that you're resourceful. You're extremely resourceful. You're definitely abundant, affluent in money, with money. That's what I'm getting here. Or like just well connected. Like I'm getting like you're the plug, pile number one. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name, that you're the plug. Like pile number one is the go-to person for all your needs. Okay, this is what I'm getting here. What comes to mind when people mention your name, my pile number one? Ooh, pile number one. Okay, you're a heartbreaker. Three of Swords. Okay, this is what comes to mind when people mention your name. I feel like there's somebody in your past that must be salty at the fact that you dumped them. I don't know why I'm getting that. Oh my god, gosh, why am I laughing? Oh my god, this person's salty. I feel so bad for laughing, guys. But I'm just getting like a salty person. Guys, I can't make it up. Six of Cups. This is somebody who's salty because I feel like I don't mean to laugh, but this person, I feel like they were after your resources. They were after your money, and that's the reason why you had to dump this person. Like, and they're salty. When people mention your name, this person does not have much to say. They call you a gold digger, but you're not a gold digger. You're the one who had the money. They're the one that was trying to like get money out of you. This is why I'm laughing, because this person is like, I'm getting like a little bit pathetic energy from this person. But you have that one specific person from your past, Six of Cups, that's talking ish about you when people talk about you. But we have the Temperance. You're definitely a wise one. Okay, you saw through this person's game, through this person's illusion. And it's like this person, when people mention your name, because I feel like you have done a lot, you've accomplished a lot in your life with the second house, okay? And now I feel like you're giving back. You're giving back to the community, you're giving back to people. So people are watching this person saying that you are a gold digger, and all of that, but they're seeing your life and they're seeing this person's life, and it's like something's not adding up. Okay, so this is what I'm getting here. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the King of Wands, confident, accomplished, passionate. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name. They talk about how passionate you are about your cause, because I feel like some of you have like a specific cause that you are donating to, or some sort of organization that you are part of that helps around the world. It's something really big, and it's like, with the Temperance card, you could definitely be a teacher, or you could be a guru, a spiritual advisor. Okay, you could be a tarot reader. So you're helping the mass, you're helping the collective. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. And you see this person doesn't want me to talk. I almost choke on my saliva. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, this person does not like you at all. Because I'm telling you, you dumped this person, or like you stopped being friends with this person because you saw that they were money hungry. They're always after like asking you for money or borrowing money and never paying you back. And then I feel like you put your foot down with this person with the Three of Swords. You had to cut them off, and they feel some type of way about it. So what comes to mind? You see Queen of Swords, as I said, that Queen of Swords, like, you're very stern, you're honest with your dealings. Okay, you're straightforward, you're forthcoming. Okay, with the Queen of Swords, you're extremely intelligent. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. It's hard for people to deceive you or to play games with you, mental games. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, boss energy, Aries. Like, you're a boss, you're definitely a leader. You're one of the best in your field. This is what people this is what comes to mind when people mention your name, is that you're really established yourself and you're paving the way for others to follow suit. This is what I'm getting here with the Emperor energy. Yeah, you see we have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of stability in your life because we have second houses, Ace of Pentacles. The Emperor is somebody who's financially stable, who's abundant, who's been through a lot in life, who has established himself on their own. So this is what I'm getting here. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name. So that person that I said at the beginning is just like a hater from your past that is unhappy with the fact that you left them behind and you're doing much better without them. And the people that are still talking about you, or when your name comes up, they speak highly of you. They're very proud of you. Okay, they're proud of the success and abundance that you have created for yourself on your own, because I feel like you're self-made, pile number one. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? Okay, that's way too many cards. Yeah. What comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the Eight of Cups. Okay, some people talk about how you walked away from them. Yeah, you have like, it's like I'm getting like two different type of energy. There's some people that have mixed feelings about you because you left them behind with the Eight of Cups. You cut them off. And there's other people that are so proud of you. They're so genuinely like happy for you with the fact that you have become a great person, a person that is deserving of respect, deserving of love and admiration with the Emperor and the Temperance. You're doing a lot for your community or for your city. Okay, what comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the King of Cups. Yeah, you definitely have a very nurturing side. So there, it's like it all depends on the people that have like the type of interaction that they had with you. The people that betrayed you, the people that backstab you, they get the Queen of Swords with you. The people that were loving, that were genuinely like your friend, or people that actually cared for you, they get the King of Wands and the King of Cups, like a very nurturing energy, a passionate energy, and inspiring energy with the King of Wands. But the people that were like rude or mean, or like did not believe in you, or being like trying to insult your intelligence, they got the Queen of Swords. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Magician, Master Manifester. You were able to manifest the life of your dreams, or you are about to. You're definitely gifted. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, they talk about how gifted that you are, how like I'm getting like with the Magician, like how much power that you have, and also you're extremely skilled and talented. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, they didn't, like, I'm getting like some people are surprised at how talented that you are, because I feel like there's a lot of people that underestimated you, pile number one. Underestimate your gift. Yeah, Six of Wands. You see, they talk about your victory, your success, your abundance in life. in every aspect of your life. With the Six of Wands, victorious. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name, how victorious that you are, how affluent that you are, and influential. I'm getting. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Ace of Wands, and I say talented, creative. Like, some people didn't know how creative that you were, that you are, sorry. Okay, they didn't know that. With the Ace of Wands, now they're seeing it. They're seeing your power. They're seeing the potential that you always had, but like, they overlooked you. Like, I feel like, yeah, you were underrated, pile number one, and now they're seeing it. So it's like definitely people from your past that are discussing you, and these people are just like in awe. Yeah, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are self-sufficient, that you are abundant with Nine of Pentacles, that you've accomplished all of these great things that you did on your own, without their help, without their support, without their encouragement. Okay, you're living a life of luxury. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, self-sufficient. You see, the self-sufficient keeps repeating itself. This is one thing that people talk about, like how you were able to sustain the lifestyle that you have, sustain yourself without the help of any other person. And I feel like also there's some people that may regret the fact that they didn't believe in you. Some of them, they wish they could be part of your success. They could be part of your abundance, but they are not. Like, they feel left out. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? My pile number one. Yeah, we have the Three of Wands. What comes to mind is that you're a visionary. You know what you want out of life. You're a go-getter. Like, you actually, like, I feel like some people from your past, the people that you may have like confined in about your dreams, your goals, did not believe in you then when you were talking about it, but now they're seeing it coming to fruition and they're in awe. Like, I'm getting like, some of them, they regret. Like, I feel like there's a lot of regret around you, pile number one, regarding like people from your past that are not able to come with you because you left them behind. Like, they took you as a joke, I'm getting, okay? And it was hurtful for you to have to go through that, but it was okay. It was like a lesson learned, you know? So what comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Ten of Cups, happiness. Some people have really fond memories of you with the Ten of Cups. Yeah, unexpected change, Tower. I'm telling you, they were not expecting you to completely change for the better. It's like these people were not seeing you for who you truly were back then, and now they're seeing like what you're trying to show them. Like, how you're trying to, like, you were trying to show your real self to these people, but they didn't believe you. They thought it was like a front, or you were just like pretending or trying to be something that you're not. And now they're seeing the truth about you. But it's too late now. Now you're already doing your thing and you're doing it on your own. You don't really need their help anymore. You don't really need their support anymore. It's like you're already doing it. So what else can they add to your life? Wow. The Hierophant. A guru, a master. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name, that you are the best to ever do it with the Hierophant. Definitely a teacher, a wise advisor, okay? Definitely an advisor. I'm getting like people secretly, these people that were talking ish about you or like talking down to you are looking up to you with the Hierophant and the Temperance. They're taking your advice. They're silently taking notes. This is what I'm getting here. Silently taking notes. They're watching you online. You have a lot more secret fans than you know, pile number one. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Strength card. How strong you are or courageous. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You're extremely courageous. You're influential. You're a positive influence for other people. You are, I'm getting like, you inspire others to be the best version of themselves. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, you inspire a lot of people. Like, I feel like some people don't want to admit that you are the reason why they are either going back to school, going back to the gym, following their dreams, okay? Starting a new regiment, like doing different things or trying out different things. You're the reason why they are doing it, because they're watching you, seeing you grow, seeing you expand, and they feel like because you're doing it, they could do it too. Like you, like I said, you inspire them, but they're never gonna tell you. So pile number one, what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind? Just one card. We have the Hangman, that you're different. You see things from a different perspective. You are open-minded. You're broad-minded with the Hangman. Okay, you're not rigid in your approach. What comes to mind when people mention your name, my pile number one? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, the Tower again. Unexpected change. They were not like, yo, people are just surprised by your growth, pile number one. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. They're surprised. They're shocked. Like they can't believe, like whatever they thought of you and thought about you is not that. That's what I'm getting here with the Tower. What comes to mind when people mention your name, my pile number one? What comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the Page of Wands. Yeah, optimism, exciting, hopeful. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name. It's like you give them a sense of inspiration, a sense of hope, and you were always hopeful about your goals and dreams. You never gave up. Even though these people were like talking down on you or laughing at you behind your back or saying things that you were money hungry and really you were not. You're just really resourceful. You know how to manage your money. You're really good with money. I'm getting like these people did not understand that you were actually the it person, okay? That you are the like I said, you were the plug, but these people they're playing games. They didn't want to admit it to themselves that you were inspiring, okay? So what comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Knight of Cups. Very loving, very sweet, charming, great people, interpersonal skills with the Knight of Cups. Like a smooth, like some people, they say that you're a smooth talker. You talk your way through life. But I'm getting like you did not do that. You just know how to talk to people with the Knight of Cups. You're very charming, okay? Like very nurturing as well. You understand people. You have emotional intelligence, I'm getting here as well, okay? So that's all I have for you, my pal number one. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video, pal number one. Bye. Hi pal 2, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pal number 2, you picked the green teddy, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is I like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pal or previous readings, okay? So my pal number 2, what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? My pal number 2, what do we have here? We have Capricorn, achieve. Okay, you could be a Capricorn or just have Capricorn in your chart or just embody Capricorn energy. And I'm getting here that you are a high achiever. Okay, this is what comes to mind when people mention your name. I'm getting like focused and dedicated. Sorry about that, guys. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Okay, so we have the 8 of Cups. So you walked away from a lot of people to chase your dreams, your success, and your abundance with the 6 of Wands. And you have achieved that, okay? You had to cut, I feel like pile number 2, you had to cut off a lot of people, because I did see the 10 of Swords. They wanted to come out. You may have had to cut off a lot of people, negative energy, negative people from your past to focus just on you. And that's exactly what you did. And you are successful now. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, that how you cut them off, or you cut off a lot of people to chase your dreams, to chase your abundance. And now you are living a life of luxury, I'm getting, okay? So what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Just one card. What comes to, yeah, you see we have the Hermit. Like you had to distance yourself from people with the Hermit card, Virgo energy, to become the person that you are today. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you are extremely wise, that you're an introvert. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, and that like they understand why you had to do what you did, because look at you now. Now you are extremely successful. You are abundant in everything that you do in your life. So I'm getting like maybe some of you maybe have graduated with honors. I'm getting like some of you are working in a prestigious position, prestigious job, is because that you had to cut off everybody and focus on yourself. And that's exactly what you did. And people are like some people they're happy, and others they're not. Yeah, we have the King of Pentacles. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, that you are somebody who is financially stable. Like your stability was very important to you, and you did that. And we have Capricorn, and we have Virgo, and then King of Pentacles. This is earth energy. So you're definitely grounded. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name, that you are a grounded individual. And not only are you grounded, you are very caring, and you are very generous with your money. You're generous with your resources. So you help a lot of people. However, you are also cautious, because you don't just give out money to just anybody just because they ask you for money. Yes, you give your money, but like the person who is in need of your support needs to have a valid reason as to why they need the money. So you're extremely intelligent, and you are wise. So you just don't give out your funds just because somebody's coming in begging for money. You don't do that, okay? Yeah, you're cautious. Four of Pentacles, okay? But you're definitely grounded. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name. But you see we have the Ten of Pentacles, abundance, okay? Financial security. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name, how secure you are, how financially affluent that you are, okay? I'm getting like, with the Ten of Pentacles, a lot of people are envious of the stability that you've accomplished for yourself, okay? I'm getting like a lot of envy here, pile number 2, from people maybe in your current environment as well as your recent past. That's what comes to mind when they mention your name. And some of them, they're a little bit salty at the fact that you do not extend your hand to help them out. Like, I feel like these people were expecting you to level up and then come back and make them level up, like help them level up without them having to put any effort into it. This is what I'm getting here. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, it's the Ace of Swords, the truth. Okay, what I'm getting like with the Ace of Swords, like what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you did this with honesty. You did this with truth. You did not take any shortcut. You did not do anything illegal or like anything that would that would jeopardize your reputation or put you like so people could scrutinize you. I'm getting like, no, you did this the honest way. It took you a long time. Like, this is not something that you were able to do in like 6 months. It was really something that, you know, it took you years to establish this stability in your life with the Ace of Swords. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, they know you had to put in the effort to get to that level that you are right now. Yeah, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, we have the feminine and masculine energy. So what I'm getting here, because I don't see the Two of Cups and I don't see relationship here, this is more yourself, only you. I'm getting like what comes to mind when people mention your name is that maybe you were in a connection or you are about to get married to somebody that is like you, or that you're looking for somebody that's like you. That's why you're still single, because I feel like some of you are still single and you are not interested in being in a relationship with somebody who does not value what you have built for yourself, or does not value what you bring to the table, or it has nothing to offer you as well. Because you bring a lot, not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually. You are a well-rounded individual. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. So like, you have high standard for yourself. Yeah, we have the devil here, Capricorn energy again. Okay, so what comes to mind when people mention your name is that with the devil, you're just so focused, like you're a workaholic. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name, like you're always working. You don't really have time to socialize, or you don't really have time for relationship or friendship. I'm getting with the Capricorn energy. And if you're going to meet somebody, you want somebody who is a match to you in that sense. That's why the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles is right here. Okay, and they are aligned with themselves. So you want somebody who's aligned with you, aligned with your goals, aligned with what you're trying to do. Because I feel like there's some people maybe in your past that try to date you or try to go out with you. It didn't work. Maybe like 2-3 months, and you're like, nah, this is not working for me, because this person does not share the same vision as I do. They don't have the same dream as I have. Like, we're not going the same place. It's a waste of my time. This is what I'm getting here. Yeah, you see Ten of Swords, like, just cut off people. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You don't have a problem cutting off people that do not bring you any value into your life, that does not help you move to the next level of your life. You just cut them off. Like, if it's not working, then it's not working. Why are you gonna continue to invest into something that you know is not going to bring any sense of security or anything of value to your life? This is what I'm getting here. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the Strength card, is that you are extremely courageous. You have a lot of dignity. Yeah, you do the right thing. Like I said with the Ace of Swords, you do the right thing even if no one is watching. Okay, that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You're definitely strong. You have great strength of character. You can have Leo in your chart. So we have Leo, Virgo, and Capricorn. So you could be a Leo Virgo cusp as well. Don't have to be. Yeah, you see, that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You did the work. Eight of Pentacles, you put it in the work. And that's exactly what I said with the Ace of Swords. That's the energy that I got from the Ace of Swords, that you are the truth. Like, you did things the right way. You put in the work. Eight of Pentacles, this is what comes to mind when people mention your name, is that you are extremely talented, that you are dedicated. You aim for excellence. You're always improving, always finding ways to do things in a better way. Like, it's like you're never satisfied with the bare minimum. Okay, this is what I'm getting here. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the King of Cups, that you're highly intuitive, you're emotionally intelligent, you know when to remove yourself from a situation when it's no longer serving you. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Just one card, please. What comes to mind when people mention your name, my pal? Number 2, what comes to mind when people mention your name? You see Eight of Cups, and I say you know how to walk away when things do not serve you. You're not afraid to cut people off. Some people find you a little bit cold, okay, because of that fact. Like, it's like, I don't feel like you're cold, pile number 2. What I'm getting is that, why waste your time when your time is precious, is valuable? You value yourself. You have high standard for yourself. So you uphold anybody who wants to be in your life at the same standard. And if they don't meet those standards, they gotta go. And I don't feel like there's anything wrong about that. Like, you only have a certain amount of time in a day, 24 hours. You don't have 24 hours to waste. Yeah, we have the Ace of Pentacles, okay? That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, is that you are good news. Ace of Pentacles, there's a lot of stability. Like, I'm getting, like, you bring not just financial stability, but emotional stability. Okay, like, with you, there is understanding, there is a level up, there is growth with you. So why would you waste your time with somebody who's going to hinder your growth? You're not going to do that. You bring a lot to the table, and you know that what you bring is valuable. Okay, it's like you're not going to get that everywhere. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? Six of Pentacles. I did call out your generosity with the King of Pentacles. I did say that. People say that, like, what comes to mind is that you are a generous spirit, but you're also cautious. You're not just going to give out your money to anybody just because they say they need it. They have to have a valid reason, or they have to, like, there's something that's going to let you know. You're going to use discernment to know if this person is worthy of your resources, your time, or not, or if they're just a user. So, wow, somebody doesn't want to talk. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, you see the Queen of Pentacles again. Very nurturing, loving, self-sufficient. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. But the Queen of Pentacles is also a motherly vibe. So people mention that you're definitely was there for them when they needed it. When they needed the support, you were the only person that had their back. A lot of people, yeah, we have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, you were there for a lot of people in the past. And I feel like this is the reason why you had to learn. You had to learn the hard way that some people are just users. Some people don't really need your help. They just don't want to put in the effort to get things done. So they use a sob story to get people to help them. And you learn from that. So that's why you no longer do that. You're still a generous spirit. You didn't change that about yourself, but you just changed your approach on, like, who you choose to help and what you choose to give and how much. Like, you don't overextend yourself for people anymore. That's what I'm getting here. And what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the King of Cups again. Like, yeah, you're definitely, like, people know that you have a beautiful heart. That's one thing that they cannot deny. They cannot say that you're an evil person or you're a mean person. They can't say that. They know that. Because you, like, I feel like you've helped a lot of people in the past, pile number 2. A lot. Like, you overextended yourself for people to the point that maybe you got sick, or maybe you were lacking, or you didn't have no money left over for yourself or to do the things that you always wanted to do. So now you moved away. You know, you had to remove yourself from people and just focus on you. And now you are doing amazing. And now you are able to go back and help. But you're not going to do it the same way that you were doing it before. You're not going to overextend yourself to the point where you have nothing left for you. Yeah, we have the Strength card. Yeah, you have integrity. They know that. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You have integrity. You're strong. You are extremely courageous. Okay, you don't let life knock you down, and you don't stay down. Okay, so if you get knocked down, you don't stay down and, like, cry yourself to sleep or stuff like that. You don't do that anymore. Okay, maybe you did that in the past, but you don't do that. You got up and you did it again. You tried again until you got to the level that you always wanted to be. And this is the reason why you're successful now. Yeah, we have the World card. You overcame a lot of obstacles. You've accomplished great things. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that they're not surprised that you've accomplished so much. They just didn't think that you were going to do it. It's not like they're surprised. Like, they know you had the potential in you. But I feel like pile number 2, you may have to endure a lot of hardship before you got to this point. And some of them, they thought that you were going to give up, that you were not going to follow through. Not because you couldn't, but because it was extremely hard. This is why we have the Strength here. You have great strength of character. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, how strong you are, your character is. What comes to mind when people mention your name, my pal? Number 2, just one card, please. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, 6 of Swords. You moved away to calmer waters. Okay? 6 of Swords. You left people behind. You cleared your mind. You focused on yourself, and now you're doing amazing. And I feel like it was the people around you that were the obstacles. It was not the obstacle itself, like the challenges that you were going through. It was the energy around you that was keeping you stuck, that was keeping you trapped or drained. So you didn't have any energy left over for yourself. This is what I was going to, like, you overextend yourself for people. What comes to mind? Yeah, we have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, you have an amazing reputation, pile number 2. Like, you live up to your reputation with the Three of Pentacles, okay? And also what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you provide excellent services or products. Like you aim for excellence, you aim for greatness with the Three of Pentacles. It's like you're not mediocre. They know that. And we have the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Beautiful energy, okay? Whether you are male or female here, beautiful. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, okay? So that's all I have for you, my pal number 2. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 2. Bye. Hi, pal 3. Welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pal number 3, you picked the blue teddy. And this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is I like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pal or previous readings, okay? So my pal number 3, what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name, my pal number 3? What comes to mind when people mention your name, pal number 3? What do we have here? What do we have here? We have 8th house, mystery. So you could be a Scorpio or have Scorpio in your chart. There's definitely an air of mystery, mysticism about you. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. What I'm getting here is that people feel like they don't really know you. It's like every time that they feel like they know you, you change or you transform. Okay, there's something like, there's like, they can't put their finger on you. There's something about you that's just, you know, intriguing. So what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? My pal number 3. What comes to mind when people mention your name? You're guarded. 7 of Wands, okay? You're extremely guarded. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the 8 of Pentacles. You're definitely very talented. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, but you're just guarded about your energy. You're cautious here. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, you see reserved, 4 of Pentacles. You're not all up in the mix. You like to hold back. This is what I'm getting here with the 4 of Pentacles. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, we have the Lovers, Gemini energy. You could have Gemini in your chart. So what I'm getting with the Lovers is like sensuality, okay? You make an ideal partner. A lot of people, like, they feel like because there's like an air of like you mystery and you're intriguing and you're sensual. It's like you're very alluring. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name. You have like very strong boundaries with the 7 of Wands. Like you don't just let anybody in. So they know that if they were to be in a relationship with you, it would be solid. It would be like you would be loyal. You will stay faithful. They wouldn't have like any issues regarding you cheating. So it's like that's one thing that a lot of people like they value is like somebody who is loyal and dedicated to them. But we also have the Lovers. This is like twin flame soulmate energy, okay? So this is what comes to mind when people mention your name. I feel like pal number 3, you're the one that got away for like, you have an ex of yours that when people mention your name, they talk about how you're the one that got away. We have the Star. Yeah, you're definitely, you have the it factor. You're influential. With the Star card, that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You're definitely beautiful inside and out. You could be an Aquarius here. Don't have to be. You could have Aquarius in your chart. But this is what comes to mind when people mention your name, how healing that you are, how influential that you are, powerful. Yeah, we have the Ace of Cups. loving, nurturing, but you're still guarded. Like you don't just give yourself up to just anybody. You're very cautious about who you let into your world. There's definitely a cautious energy about you for sure. That's why they have like this air of mystery with the eighth house, Scorpio energy. Like you're very wary of people's intention and motives. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Queen of Wands. How beautiful that you are, or handsome. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. That you are very attractive. Like your attractiveness is something that like catches people's attention a lot when you walk past, or like there's just an air of elegance about you and sexiness. I'm getting like a lot of sexiness, and that's Scorpio energy. You're extremely sexy. People really like, yo, pile number 3, all I'm saying is like you have a lot of admirers. Like there's a lot of people that wish they could get with you, wish they could have a chance with you, but it's like you don't give people the time of day with the 7 of Wands. It's like you're just so guarded. Okay, so what comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, you see Ace of Wands, a lot of sexual energy, attractiveness, creativity. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like how like they always talk about you. Pile number 3 is a sexy ass mother sucker, but they're so guarded. You can't even talk to them. You can't even get a hi out of them. It's like, this is what I'm getting here. You can't even get like a smile out of pile number 3. Pile number 3 is so serious, like so guarded. Like you really have to jump through hoops to get to know pile number 3. This is what I'm getting here. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name. And I feel like for the women here, like you have a lot of suitors. A lot of men want to talk to you, but it's just like, don't even give them the time of day. This is what I'm getting here. It's like, no. Like you don't even look at the, yeah, you see Queen of Swords, guys. I can't make it up. With the Queen of Swords, you don't play. Oh my God, like, yo, you don't have no chills, pile number 3. Like, no, yo, the people, if they're gonna come at you, they're better to come correct. And I feel like you have extremely high standard, that it's like, it's not impossible to talk to you. I'm not getting that it's impossible, but I feel like the reason why your standards are so high, you're trying to get away from, oh, I don't want to say that word because I don't want to trigger people. Oh my God. But you're trying to get away with people that are, let me just say, low vibrational. Let me just keep it simple. Low vibing people with the Queen of Swords. You keep low vibing people at bay. Like they don't even try to come your way because they know that they're going to get chopped off with the Queen of Swords. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, don't even try to holler at pile number 3, because he or she is going to reject you if you don't meet their standard. Like, you're going to get your heart broken. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, you have options. 7 of Cups. Pile number 3, you have options. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, there's too many people that want you, and you're just, some people say that you're cocky, but you're not. I'm not getting like cockiness. It's like, you know what you want. You're not going to settle for less than what you feel like you deserve. What comes to mind when people mention your name, pile number 3? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Like, if you have star-like qualities, why would you want to settle for somebody who does not have the same qualities that you do? It doesn't make sense for you to lower yourself. Like, you know, it's just common sense. We have the Temperance card. This is Sagittarius energy. What comes to mind is that you are extremely wise, very chill, very laid back, okay? You're not like aggressive or anything like that, but you're just cautious. You have strong boundaries. Like, you don't come across like aggressive. I'm not getting that. We don't have any aggression here. I'm not getting that aggressive energy. You're just guarded with the 7 of Wands. It's like you don't play that. Okay, you're laid back, you're chill. You know, you could have a nice conversation with someone, but they're not going to come and try to invade your privacy or try to ask you questions or ask you out. No. We could have a civil conversation, but that's it. We're not going to get it. We're not going to go any further than that. With the Temperance card, you're just wise. You see beneath people's true intention. And we have the Strength card. Like, yeah, what comes to mind is that you are somebody who has strength of character. You have integrity. You're influential. Like the influence that you have is more than you know. I feel like pile number 3, you don't know how influential you are, like how you impact other people in a positive way, in a positive light. And it's refreshing, I'm getting, okay? So what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name, pile number 3? We have the King of Cups. Yeah, emotionally intelligent. Guys, we have the Lovers again and the Three of Pentacles, okay? Excellent reputation. Your reputation precedes you with the Three of Pentacles, but you're also very skilled and talented. You go above and beyond when you do things. You're not mediocre. This is what I'm getting here. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. But you see, we have the Lovers here. That's what I'm getting. Like, you have a lot of suitors. A lot of people are like, you're very attractive, pile number 3. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. It's like, oh, pile number 3 is the one that got away. What if I would, like, especially in your younger years, like the people that wanted to get with you, they did not treat you right, or they treated you like you were regular, and they lost you like that, and they're trying to get you back with the Seven of Wands. You're like, nah, you had your chance and you blew it. I don't spin the block. This is what I'm getting. You don't spin the block, pile number 3. Once it's done, it's done. Okay, this is what I'm getting here. We have the Eight of Pentacles again. So there's like energies repeating themselves. So Eight of Pentacles is like meticulous, a perfectionist, okay, high earner, skilled worker. This is what comes to mind when people mention your name, is that you are a perfectionist. You always aim for improvement, okay? And it makes sense because we have Scorpio energy. You're always developing yourself or improving yourself, transforming yourself. You never stay at the same level. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Empress. Okay, pile number 3. You're the Empress. Okay, that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, is that you are beautiful. You're a divine being, supreme. This is what I'm getting here. They put you on a pedestal, pile number 3. A lot of people put you on a pedestal. They talk about how beautiful that you are inside and out, how creative that you are. I feel like some of you could be makeup artists here, pile number 3. You could be also painters, singers, songwriters, but there's something artistic that you do. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Is like, oh my gosh, like some people, like I'm telling you, they have dreams about you. They dream of like being with somebody like you, a girl or a guy just like you. You're their fantasy. I'm getting like you're a lot of people's fantasy, pile number 3. More than you know, okay? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Oh, you see? 7 of Wands again, guys. But you're defensive. This is one thing that keeps repeating itself. You are defensive. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, how defensive that you are. Or not defensive, sorry, guarded. That's the word I was looking for. Guarded. Like your boundaries are super strong. Like you don't play that. Like if they're going to come at you, they better come correct. And if their energy does not match yours, you feel like this person is not authentic, you cut them off. You don't even have to think twice. You feel like 1 inch of negativity, cut off. This is what I'm getting here with the Queen of Swords. You don't play that. Okay, that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. I feel like you have cut off people like that, and that's what they feel some type of way. They feel sad because you cut them off like without no warning. Because you're like, no, if you feel any negative energy, bye. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, stability and abundance. I cut the deck open. The Empress is here again. What comes to mind when, like, okay, what I'm getting with the 10 of Pentacles as well, okay, I just got that, is that there is a legacy about you, and like a way of building a life with you. I'm getting like pile number 3. The people that mention your name a lot is the people that wish they had a chance with you, or people that may had a chance with you and they blew it. Okay, I don't know why I'm getting a barbershop, guys. You know how a barbershop and salon, like hair salons, this is like place for gossip for men and women. I'm getting like they're at the barber shop. I don't know, like I'm getting like for women here, there is like a specific guy, like he's like sitting on the chair waiting for him to get his line up, and he's just there talking about you, dreaming about you, like, but this person blew it with you. Okay, and like for the men here, I'm not getting hair salon, but I'm getting a nail salon, like nail shop, where this person is talking about how sad she is for like playing games with you. This is what I'm getting here. Like you have people talking about you, like your name is running through people's mouth in salons, like, yo, you know, showing your pictures and everything. That's what I'm getting here. My God, pile number 3, you got them hooked. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the Temperance. Okay, Sagittarius energy again. A lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Specifically, those people that are in love with you, pile number 2. Sorry, pile number 3. You have people that are in love with you. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Just one card. What comes to mind? Okay, just one. Thank you. We have the King of Swords. Wow, King and Queen of Swords. Yeah, you now have a problem cutting off people. Yeah, I feel like people are just sad that you cut them off after. Yeah, you see 8 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. You don't have a problem walking away from people that don't serve you. What comes to mind? Yeah, you see Ace of Pentacles again. A lot of abundance, stability. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the King of Pentacles now. Like you're the one that got away, pile number 3. This is what I'm getting here, heavy. The one that got away. The one that they feel like they regret playing with, or regret skipping out on, or not taking seriously, because now they're looking at you like, wow, pile number 3 was actually the one, was actually the right one for me, or the one that actually was serious about me, that wanted to build something solid. But now you block them. You're like, nah, I'm not doing this. Yeah, you see, guys, I can't make it up. 2 of Cups. The Lover, the one that got away. Okay, so that's all I have for you, my pal number 3. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 3. Bye.